The biggest shock of chapter 1125 was the death of Saturn at the whim of Imu, who cut off his power and life force. This confirms the long-held fan theory that the Gorosei rely on Imu for their power and apparent immortality. Saturn was replaced by Garling in just a few seconds, despite having served Imu for more than 200 years, or possibly even 800. Isn't it strange that Saturn was the only Gorosei we saw 200 years ago, and also during the God Valley flashback? Where were the other Gorosei? Was Saturn the only one leaving that room? I don't think so. I believe Oda purposefully did this and hid the other Gorosei. The reason is that years ago, the five elders were different. One of the current Gorosei, Jupiter, seems much younger than the rest. There are many theories about why he's younger, but I'm sure you haven't seen this one. I believe he is a replacement for a previous Gorosei, and there are a few reasons for this. First of all Gorosei have numbers. Saturn was number 5 and Jupiter is number 1. We still don't know why they have numbers or if they are assigned according to their power, but it's less likely. I believe there were originally 5 Gorosei and Imu replaced some of them, leading to the current numbering system. I say some because there could be more than one, but in this video we will talk about only one, the one who was replaced by Jupiter. For example, we know that Ace replaced Odin. Yes, Ace was very powerful, but he didn't even have armament hockey at the time, unlike Jozu or Vista, yet the second commander position was open and Ace took that place. Similarly, Garling replaced Saturn and is now number 5, even though I am sure he is stronger than the other Gorosei. We saw him in the panel with the 12 most important characters, so he will play a huge role in the final war, meaning Oda will make him stronger and more dangerous than the others. Before I name the previous Gorosei, let's start by explaining how Imu grants the Gorosei their powers. Many people speculate that this power was achieved through the repeated use of the Ope Ope no Mi's ability. If this were true, it would mean that Imu managed to use the fruit and then reacquire it repeatedly. One of the biggest clues we have so far is the mysterious mention of a place known as the Phantom Room, or in the most recent anime episode, the Lost Chamber. Since this was first mentioned in the manga, I have believed that the Phantom Room or Lost Chamber is, in fact, the same Chamber of Flowers where we've seen Imu multiple times. It seems that from inside this chamber, Imu is best able to use their power, whatever they may actually be. It's also possible that the butterfly surrounding Imu represents souls. I also believe that the Chamber of Flowers was originally cultivated by the original settlers on the Red Line, the Lunarians. Many have already theorized that this room is a reference to the Garden of Eden. If this is the case, then perhaps it provides the connection to the tattoos of Kalgara and Wiper. They may represent the devil snake that tempted Eve with the forbidden fruit. It seems likely that within this garden there is a particular tree. There may be a devil fruit tree in the Chamber of Flowers, but I believe there is also a tree referencing the Tree of Life that appears in Genesis. This connection provides us with a huge clue as to what the king's tattoo may represent: the blossom of a particular tree, a tree of life. A cherry blossom. It's easy to forget that Dr. Hiriluk told the story of a famous pirate from the West Blue who suffered from an incurable heart disease. It was only thanks to a miracle that he survived. He stumbled across a forest of cherry blossoms and shortly after he was cured. For this reason, Hiriluk chose the cherry blossom as the symbol of medicine. King's tattoo represents the pride of the Lunarians, a plant that can cure all things. I believe you all remember Doflamingo's words from his jail cell. Isn't it okay to reveal what it is already? Power degrades quickly anyway. It rots away in no time at all. Interesting choice of words, rot and time, almost as if it is something that withers and has to be regrown. King's tattoo represents the pride of the Lunarians, the blossoms of a particular tree that create a miracle medicine. This miracle cure is also the national treasure of Marijua, the stolen treasure of Marijua. However, that's getting a bit off topic from the main point. I'll continue that idea further in another theory. The main point here is to consider the idea that this lost chamber is the Chamber of Flowers, and it is lost because it once belonged to the Lunarians. But why would Imu hide a garden, or rather hide in one? It seems likely that this room also hides the secret entrance to the icy vaults that Imu accessed back in chapter 906. If there is some sort of device that Imu has created that sustains the powers and life force of the Gorosei and potentially many others beyond that, this is where it would most likely be hidden. It seems that perhaps Nefertari D. Lily even attempted to leave a warning about the true nature of Imu's power. Back in chapter 202, we see a painting on the wall that seems to depict the ritual sealing of a devil. If devil devil fruits are made through the manifestation of people's dreams and desires, what if devils were created using people's fears and nightmares? As NL said back in chapter 275, it's not God that people fear, it's the terror that God incarnates. This would also go a long way toward explaining how Imu seized power in the first place by tempting the other founding members with power and immortality. Vegapunk refused to declare which side in the Void War was good or evil, but perhaps Vegapunk's own experiences ironically provide the missing context. The problem was not that either side was inherently evil, the problem was that both sides were greedy. I believe this is how Imu is able to control the Gorosei and seemingly take away their power and life force on a whim. Perhaps this is also the national treasure. Let's return to the previous Gorosei. When Saturn died, he was surrounded by black flames and then his flesh disappeared. What if the man marked by flames was the previous number 1 Gorosei and he survived Imu's judgment and the flames? That's how he got his nickname. It's also very strange that no one, not even Blackbeard, knows what this person looks like. This could be because his appearance changed after he lost Imu's power. Perhaps some people knew him before, but now no one can recognize him. Shiryu previously suggested that this person was with the world government. Perhaps this is true. I am surprised that Blackbeard couldn't find this person for a year, especially since he has achieved everything he planned. He acquired 2 of the strongest devil fruits, invaded Impel Down, gathered a powerful crew, and even secured his own island. We saw his actions during the Egghead arc, yet the man marked by flames remains his biggest obstacle. This suggests that the man marked by flames must be incredibly strong. Additionally, as I mentioned, due to his change in appearance, no one recognizes him. It would also explain why Jupiter seems much younger than the rest. He could be the replacement for the former elder, now known as the man marked by flames. We don't know why he chose to sail and hide the poneglyph, but even if he's not the previous Gorosei, we still don't know why the man marked by flames chose to do that. We'll have to wait for Oda to explain everything. Maybe he just became kind or was inspired by Nika. Anything could happen. Nothing is purely black and white in One Piece. For us, the Straw Hats seem very kind, but they are still pirates, and to a random civilian, Luffy might be seen as the greatest villain in the world. We've even seen noble figures among the Celestial Dragons. They are probably the most evil people in the world, but even within this group, Don Quixote Miosgard and Doflamingo's father, Don Quixote Homing, appeared to be very kind and righteous. Take Corazon, for example. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Gorosei grew tired of being what he didn't like and decided to leave the Gorosei. Maybe he even had a plan to avoid Imu's judgment. Another hint is that the man marked by flames appeared around the same time the Gorosei characters began to be revealed. I believe they must have some kind of history. That's it for today. Share your thoughts about this theory in the comments, and if you want to learn more about Imu and her plans, you can watch this video right here. Thanks for watching.